So many people joining on this Saturday morning. We all had the previous Agile series session almost a month back. So this time we have got a new interesting topic. I think Abhinav and Pallavi will introduce the speaker and take it forward from here. Thanks for joining, folks. Over to you, Pallavi. Pallavi, we're not able to hear you. But Abhinav, you want to? Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, just give me a second, please. Hope my screen is visible.
Yep.
Okay. So, Shiva will start, right?
Yeah. Go on, please.
Okay. So once again, hello and very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the PMIPCC Agile series brought to you by PMI Pearl City Hyderabad chapter. A few quick notes before we proceed. Use the chat window to network, share your thoughts. Use Q&A options to post any questions. We will take them during the Q&A session. Those provided a valid PMI member ID with first name and last name according to the PMI profile. One PDU will automatically be credited within 2 weeks. And we encourage open discussion, but please keep your comments respectful and on topic. This session's recording will be posted on the PMI PCC YouTube channel. We want everyone to stay until the very end of the program for a members talk and a digital selfie. And at the end of the session, please make sure everyone is, every one of you are able to every one of you are able to turn on your camera and, we'll take a digital selfie. So let's get started. Today's session is all about agile decision making in the age of uncertainty. So why smart decisions go wrong in the age of AI? We have our speaker, Mr. Subrahmanyam Chandragiri, with us, who is the delivery and transformation leader with N10 India, who is also a global speaker and a film actor. Mr. Subha Chandagiri is a agile delivery manager, a transformation leader, a global conference speaker who bridges the world of agility, leadership, and creative influence. With over 18 years of experience in technology and product delivery, he had helped organizations drive cultural changes, scale agile practices, and build high-performing teams through practical framework and authentic leadership. Beyond the corporate world, Subbu is also a film and television actor and a digital content creator with a strong following across Telugu digital platform. Blending insights from boardrooms and studios, he brings a unique perspective on how agility, creativity, and influence shape the future of leadership in digital age. So over to you, Subbu.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, and thank you all for joining on a Saturday morning. Maybe we thought like our day would start in a different way, but again, we started with the same dialogues. Am I audible? Is my screen visible? Okay, so thanks. It's a good, wonderful thing that you again wanted to decided to start your day with that, with those things. And thanks a lot for joining me today. And before we get started, just curious to know, where are you all joining? I mean, from which city? Can you quickly type in the chat? Hyderabad, Manipal. Wow, Qatar. So we have global audience. Nice. Hyderabad, Mumbai. Wow, good to see that. So we are having diversified audience from different places, and we have global audience as well. And great to see that. So now that we are going to get started, I'm just going to start with a promise, and trust me, I'll keep my promises. Even my wife says that thing. There is no other better thing through which I can tell that. Right. So since you are staying for the next 35 to 40 minutes where we are going to have conversations, you will surely have those moments where you think like, hey, wait, this exactly is happened with me, or oh, I should have done this differently, or wow, this is something good I have learned today. So these things, these wow moments are going to happen for you. And also there are some great key takeaways which is going to help you in decision making in professional and personal lives, especially when we are using that AI, because that's what the buzzword buzzword which we are having in the world right now. So for sure, I'm going to make this 35 or 40 minutes of discussion worth spending every minute for you. So are you guys excited?
Yep.
Well, then let's do one thing. What is that is like at any point of time, feel if you feel like, hey, I should express something, please do that through the emojis. Don't shy away, because instant feedback, that's what we call, right? And that too, as Pallavi has already said, that I am into social media. We love that instant feedback, call to action, all the stuff needs to be there. So let's have those instant feedbacks. So keep those thumbs ups, smileys, emojis, whatever you think. So keep them flowing. So that will actually boost. And thanks a lot, Pallavi, for giving a detailed intro. I wish like either my parents or my wife should have listened to that, so that I would have felt more proud about it. And thanks a lot. I'm just reiterating it. Yes, I am Subbu. People call me Simbi Subbu, and I am an agile delivery leader, technical leader earlier, and I'm a global speaker. And if there are any Telugu audience, since I see mostly from Hyderabad, if you felt like I saw this guy somewhere, no, you haven't seen me in any police station or TV9 news. Maybe you might have seen me on some of the reels in social media which I am making, and they are mostly part of entertainment. So today we are going to have, throughout our discussions, we are going to have diversified examples from various industries, right? From IT, from social media, from movies, and all the stuff. So shall we get started? Some emojis. All right. So I think like we are get started with this topic. Right. I'll share my screen. Agile decision making in the age of uncertainty. And we all make smart decisions, right? My laptop is still in the weekend mode. It is not helping me, supporting me, right? Just hope you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes, yes, we are.
Okay, so we are going to get started with something called as agile decision making in the age of uncertainty, and why smart decisions go wrong in the age of AI. We are all smart people, and we take lots of great decisions. And then sometimes we have data, knowledge, experience, everything, and still we make some wrong decisions. No, I'm not talking about marriage, by the way. I'm just talking about professional life and other personal decisions. And most of the times we see everybody doing this, not just because they're not smart, but there is something else which we are just going to find out today. So quickly type like, what do you see? Just look at the picture and then type in the comments like, what do you think about this picture? Maybe in one word. Stuck in rat race. Highly professional rat race, rat race, rat race. Wow. That's cool. Everybody understood, right? It's a rat race. So we are very much stuck in that rat race, like we want to be there ahead of the curve, like whatever the words we say, ahead of the curve, going with the flow, whatever it is. So we are all stuck in that rat race. And I'll share the picture again. And just have a look at the faces of the rat. So that's a perfect metaphor of how we make decisions today, right? It's fast, confident, competitive, and sometimes heading exactly in the wrong direction. I mean, you look at the faces of the rat. Now, none of those rats are feeling like, hey, we are moving into the wrong direction. They're very confident, just like how we move in the wrong direction, how we move when we take the decisions, right? Because we are so confident or so obsessed with what we believe, like data, I know everything, the sort of knowledge, I have these tools, no matter whatever it is. We use all those things and then we believe like we are very confident and we exactly move in the wrong direction, right? Um, if you guys have been through any agile transformations earlier, I think does that sounds like some agile transformation that happened with your organizations where you felt like, where you have seen like velocity is up, Jira board is good, all the quarterly plannings are fantastic, a dashboard is green, and still your leadership says like nothing is moving, and the competitor says like nothing has changed, and maybe like they are also moving to a different competitor altogether, right? So when we are doing everything perfectly, then what is that is going wrong there? And also, look at the picture. Most of the times, I mean, you see like all the rats are almost similar, right? In the same suit, wearing the same things, same suitcase, because nobody wants to be different at all. If someone adopts AI, we adopt AI. If someone is following a trend, we follow the trend. Someone buys something, we also buy the thing in personal life. Best example is social media trends. Right? Someone starts a trend, somebody else will, we also just follow the trend because we don't want to be different. And then investment decisions, career choices, not because we do that, not because we have decided, but because everyone else is doing that, we are also doing it. And most of the bad decisions today are not made out of ignorance. They happened because we believed motion is momentum and speed is strategy. How many of you agree with it? Put some thumbs up. Motion is momentum and speed is strategy. And that's where the decisions are going wrong. And sometimes these decisions are also very expensive. And then don't worry. It's not just with us. Like everybody takes wrong decisions, and there are some costliest, wronger decisions which we are going to see right now. How many of you know this thing, Natasha? For all the Telugu people, it's not that Natasha from Pokri movie who wrote a love letter to Brahmi software engineer. It's a different Natasha. Anyone know? Anyone know about this thing? Right. So it is like in 2023, right? So there is a company called as Builder AI. So they announced it like probably we are coming up with our AI software, our AI writes software automatically and no developers needed. Just describe what you want and our AI agent Natasha, they'll go ahead and build it. Guess what? Investors poured in money over $1 billion, $1.5 billion to be exact. And then tech media went wild. It was the dream and that replaced. And then they believed that AI is going to replace developers and the future is here. Recently, by 2026, it is observed that Natasha wasn't AI at all. And Builder AI, what they have claimed, they had almost 700 human engineers sitting in India, maybe sitting in India and manually doing what was marketed as fully automated artificial intelligence. One of the biggest.
Subbu, sorry to intervene. I guess your screen is stuck and we are still able to see the first rat wala slide. Hello. No, Subbu, now we are not able to hear you as well. So, till the time Supu rejoin, may I request everyone to, just use this platform to network. You can drop your name, your organization name, the industry which you're working in, and your LinkedIn IDs for everyone to connect. Shiva, sorry, you are on mute.
Oh, okay, fine. Hi, all. In the meanwhile, he rejoins. I'm Shiva, the Vice President of the PMIPCC chapter and also Events Coordination Director. One other point he was just talking about Natasha, right? Similarly, even the Amazon had one store, right? There is a story that people would walk in and then all the items will be priced and billed by the time they exit. Even that was told to be at the back end, people were monitoring and then adding the items to the cart, and it's not entirely based on the IoT concept, right? So even big names have fallen to this trap. So it's exactly the rat race to be, right? I should be up the race by whatever means. If you have any other similar points or something, you can share in the chat. So at least we can have some information floating around which is related to the topic from your own experiences and what you have heard. We can just Pallavi, you may just call up Chandu to just
Yes,
check
I
out.
will. I
Yeah,
will just
fine.
check with him. Yeah.
Yeah, in the interest of time and to engage you all, I wanted to inform that we have the network meeting of our chapter members in a week. I hope all of you have registered for the same. If not, please register. You'll have received mails as well as LinkedIn posts. If you're following our chapter, you would have got it in the LinkedIn, Insta, and Facebook, Twitter also. Apart from mails, please register and we can all see you at Pega's office next weekend. It's on next Saturday. So we can even discuss about what we learned and what are the different perspectives um, on the same topic. How many of you have registered already? Can you put a thumbs up? Yeah, if you didn't know whether you have got it or not, please check your emails. Many times the emails, whichever email you have registered on for your PMI profile, that may be a secondary email, so you may not be checking, or sometimes it may go to your spam folder. You can check and then um, make the PMI's emails as not a spam. And we also had a session about on a couple of topics on AI last 2 weeks back. exactly 2 weeks back. I think we had one on CPM AI. Um, did you guys register and attend those that session? Like CPM AI, Binayak Pavatarla, our General Secretary, who had cleared one of the early persons to clear CPM AI. Um, he had taken a session about what to expect and about CPM AI certification also. Uh, I hope you guys attended. If not, these are available in our YouTube channel. So please go and then make use of these sessions for your benefit. Yep. Subbo is back.
Hello, guys. No, yeah, this is exactly what we are talking about, the uncertainty in life. Okay, so I don't know. I was like pushed out of Teams, and then Pallavi, would you mind like sharing the screens so that like I think like I'm not able to do that in this laptop.
Sure, sure. I'll just do that.
So I was just talking about a couple of instances similar to what you were talking, right, about the Natasha. So giving reference to the Amazon automatic billing that was also told about, right? People were thinking that it's all the Internet of Things and AI is taking care of, but then it was few Indians sitting here and then adding to the cart.
Correct, correct. Perfectly, perfectly all right. Right. So we are not talking about any scams here, but what we are talking about is that decision making things, right? So you can go to Natasha Pallavi. I know talking, I mean, telling a woman to open another woman's name is difficult, but then still you have to open Natasha on the slide. Right? So you can see like probably 1.5 billion dollars investment was made, and it was like almost 700 engineers sitting in India, and they are doing all the job for that. So this story is definitely not about how badly we want to believe the narrative is, but it is about the confidence in the person, in a product, in a pitch. It can completely override our judgment. Right? Most of the times, that's how all these things happen. It's not that we are not smart, but then there is something where we were convinced and then we completely override our judgment. Right. And that's how definitely like probably since I come from movie background as well, this is exactly how would the movies would love to have. Right. Every time you need to have that a seated thriller sort of thing. But then in real life, we can't bear that thing. Right. And this is not a one-off. I mean, this is what the AI has done to our decision making, and it has made it confused confidence with the clarity. How many of you agree? Right? We are getting confused between confidence and our clarity, right? So now, just wanted to understand from you. Just type yes or no. So, have you ever been in a project where confidence in the room was way higher than the evidence is justified? Just type yes or no. I know we can't have a discussion. Just where the confidence was so huge, but then the evidence, whatever you are having, is so less. Right? So almost everybody, yes, yes, yes. So good to see, right? So this is exactly what we are telling. Like our decision making is being very much influenced, and we are getting confused between clarity and the confidence, all because of this data. I know, again, still even with these things, we still believe like probably no, I am different. Just like that. The hero in the F2 movie says like, you guys don't know how to lead marriage life. I am different. I am different. And then everybody fall in the same loop, right? Next, let's try to see some more examples. Can you move on, Pallavi, to the next slide? Boom. Now here, see the numbers. These are all the numbers from 2025. Okay. I'm just being totally honest. Now, if something has changed in the last 2 to 3 months, I don't know. But then definitely these are numbers from 2025. They are not just interesting, but then look at them. They are very, very uncomfortable. Right? So they clearly reflect one thing. We are not drowning in data. We are drowning in confidence about the incomplete data. right? Maybe we can't discuss all these things. Maybe we'll discuss about something called as that 182K tech workers laid off as companies, blah, 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 right? So I mean to say like 100, lot many workers in the name of like organizational realignment or organizations trying to embrace their alignment towards AI-centric future, whatever might be the reason. Maybe we are hearing this news very, very, very frequently nowadays in the news, right? So just quickly type yes or no, like if you have witnessed such sort of instances in within your organization or in your previous organizations, that were you part of it at any point of time? You may not have been done that, but then definitely you might have seen this, right? Maybe in your organizations or some other organizations. Yes, yes, yes. See, like we're all sailing in the same boat, right? And now, so teams are changing, the titles are changing, and now people are moving. And here something is very interesting. Along with this thing, we are living in an era of some fancy words which are coming every day, right? So have you ever heard of this word which is coming right now called a boomerang employees? Boomerang employees. It is like the organizations took their decision that AI is going to replace everyone, and now they are again calling back those same employees whoever actually asked to let go from the organizations, because now they understood that there are certain things which AI is not able to do, which these employees have done. So now the best part of it is the same employees are now being bought as consultants with more they are benefited. But then the thing is that decision making systems, right? Because our decisions, again, as I said, this is not a blame game for AI and all, but then this is all about how we are taking decisions nowadays in this world. It's not because AI has failed, but then the decisions we are taking are too early, or we are taking with too much confidence, believing that that confidence is clarity, right? So earlier, like decisions were slow and sometimes wrong, but nowadays decisions are fast and most of them are confidently wrong. That's what is happening. And I'll maybe towards the end, this is a test for your memory. Towards the end, just remind me one thing. I'll share you one video link in the chat, maybe which you can actually watch during over your weekend to see what's about these boomerang employees and all the stuff. Now, as Pallavi has bought this slide, right? So we are no more living in this VUCA world. Mostly VUCA describes the environment we are operating in. But then Bani is the environment that makes us how the humans feel and making decisions inside it, right? Bani, it's like let's continue the same example of that employees thing, right? Brittle systems that look rock solid or which we feel are we are so confident, they are not so confident because small crack, entire thing is gone. Think of an employee like maybe they are having like a 20, 15, 20 years of experience, deep expertise, and they are trusted persons in the organizations. They feel they are indispensable and suddenly they realize they weren't. That's exactly what is happening in most of the scenarios, right? It's not only for organizations. I'm talking about the humans, we as humans, right? So the problem was not capability. Maybe it was the illusion of stability for us as humans. We believe that there is a lot of stability for us, but then that illusion of stability and then anxiousness. How many of you have watched this series Squid Game? The best example for anxiousness. Fear-driven decisions, not judgment. Right? Most of the times we become anxious and then we take some decisions, not because we are part of it, but then we see somebody else is getting impacted because of it. Now imagine a situation where you are here sitting in the center and every week some or other employee who are sitting around you is asked to go. What will happen? Like you start taking decisions because of the fear, right? You don't feel like taking some time to make some correct decisions and then to take that judgment because you are so anxious at the time, and then you take some decisions because of the fear, right? And mostly non-linear. So small actions are creating massive consequences. Maybe like social media, like one tweet from one powerful guy is going to change the entire ecosystem. maybe from Elon Musk or somebody. Let's imagine, right? It's so non-linear. One tweet, that's it. Some stocks boost, some stocks come down. So it is becoming very non-linear and incomprehensible. Nobody can expert what is happening. On a very lighter note, imagine you are in a town hall after some sort of disturbances happening in your organization. Your leader comes there and say like, we have to take this tough decision because of the roadmap we are having. What is that roadmap? No one knows. What is the tough decision? No one knows. What you already know, only you know is like some impact has happened, and then that is very incomprehensible. Even it doesn't matter whether you're 15 years, 20 years, or even more experienced, you can't even completely explain it. Just telling like they keep telling the same thing all the time. Right? So in Bahani, like confidence maybe increases faster than understanding. How many of you agree with it? Resonate with it? Uka describes the world and Bahani describes how we feel it. Right? Cool. Palvi, can we move on to the next slide? So one quick activity for the next 1 minute. Now we have been hearing about how those decisions which other people have taken went wrong and all. Let's take some time and then let's do this activity. Maybe you don't have to tell me uh, what went wrong or what went good and all the things, but then just take some time, maybe some 30 to 40 seconds, and then think about one last important decisions you made at work or life. So how confident were you when you decided doing that thing out of 1 and 10? If you are interested, you can just type those answers like 1 to 10. How confident were you when you decided that? Was the outcome driven by data or speed? It could be data or speed. And were you aware of any assumptions that you were making? Yes or no? Just type those answers for those 3 questions in the chat. Five speed, no, perfect. 8 speed, no. See, how many people want to do that speed in the life? We just want the speed, right? That's exactly how even I made some decisions nowadays. 7 mix and yes, that's correct, perfect. We planned for something, outing and all the stuff, and then when everything is going to be perfect, that's when I understood it was my kids' exams. All gone. So pure data was not there because we are so speed. We wanted to make those decisions speed. 8 partial data, few 6 speed, no. Perfect, right? So that's how this is all about. Like confidence is not the enemy of good decisions, but then unexamined confidence is. You are so confident most of the times. Like look at the confidence. Most of the times everybody is confident that we are taking the right decisions. But then thing is unexamined confidence is actually driving us towards taking those wrong decisions. And then the crazy thing is this trap isn't new. Okay, it just looks different depending upon where it shows up. So let me show you 3 places. You have definitely seen it before about all these things. So Palvi, can we move on to the next slide? See, the same trap, but then different costumes. Okay. So you see like decisions failures look similar, and once you know what to look for. At the workplace, maybe let's take this as an example. AI tool gets introduced. Leadership is excited. And then they feel like we need to integrate this everywhere, and decisions start getting faster. Output looks impressive. Dashboard looks better. Confidence, it surely goes up because everything is looking very positive in terms of the dashboard. But something else is happening. What's that? If you actually look at the ground level, the teams are spending more time validating those outputs, and they are trying to fix certain things which AI has said like it is already working. Now it is there at the senior leadership. Now they need to work on these things and correcting what AI got slightly wrong. But because nobody wants to slow down, right? Nobody wants to slow down. We did not reduce the effort. Trust me, effort is not reduced. We just shifted it from thinking to correcting. That's called as the illusion of clarity, which I call it. Illusion of clarity. This word illusion is, I mean to say, like, as Indians, we know it much better because how many of you heard this word Moh Maya all the time? We might have heard this too many times in our life, right? Moh Maya, Sab Moh Maya. And that's exactly what is happening. This is now in a different shape. Illusion of clarity just at workplaces. Now, in the history, now is that only thing that is happening right now? No, it is there in the past as well, history. I don't want to beat too much on Blockbuster versus Netflix because I think this is the example. I seriously pity the Blockbuster because people start beating them too much on this example. So everybody knows it, right? They felt they were very confident of the data they are having. So Blockbuster had like probably these big and stores, and then they believed that whatever their business is doing, that is so powerful, and then they have too much confidence on the data they are having, and then they felt like nobody can beat us, and then boom, one day that Netflix took it over. Exactly the same thing what happened to Nokia as well, and then we might have seen that video also, that Nokia CEO telling like we haven't done anything wrong, but then we are not able to can you go up, yeah, but then they are not able to do that stuff. Uh, Pallavi, can you go up the previous slide, please? Sorry. So even in the daily life, right? So this is what is happening. So you scroll through the social media and then algorithm. One thing good about the social media or Instagram as a social media person, I'm telling you is the moment you skip reels, right? So that will consider that you are not interested in those stuff, and then it will start showing you only those reels which you are interested in. At some point of time, what happens is your understanding of certain things, it get reinforced because only that sort of content you are seeing it all the time through your feed. For example, you believed in one thing, and then you started watching one or two videos related to that. It will start showing you all the videos which are relevant to it and which are supporting that particular video, which is exactly what is there in your belief system. And that's the reason why it is reinforcing your belief or confidence what you already have. So what is the problem? You are missing out the other fact or other truths or other data, whatever that is there, and you are in a loop. And this is called as the human in a loop. How many of you agree with this thing? Just show some thumbs up or something. So it is just like AI is mirroring your assumptions back to you. It is just mirroring the assumptions back to you. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. That illusion of clarity, what we are talking about, like, so again, like you have dashboard, the charts are trending, the AI summary is very clean, everything looks good, and you feel very confident. But then data tells you what happened. It almost never tells you why or what to do next. So that judgment system, you should be having it, right? So I'll tell you one real-time example where I recently encountered with one of the organizations or with one of the people whom I'm mentoring. Okay, so they started showing some AI-related dashboards where they shown like probably the sprint velocity is going up, defect rate is going down, and then the AI dashboard showed like the team is performing at 92% or 95% capacities and all the stuff. And then suddenly what happened is when I asked like two or three more questions related to what they have done for that thing, I understood like none of those things were actually done in real time. And whatever the data that is showing in the dashboard, it is just like it is not accurate. It is just an illusion of creating some dashboards, flattish dashboards that shows like you are actually doing good. So the dashboard might be lying, and then and sometimes the dashboard also shows some accurate data, but then which is something very good already. So it is showing only those things, not the other stuff. So the most important thing over here is there are some important signals in complex systems that don't show up on screens. For example, if I have to talk about these things, the internal politics within the organizations, the resistance of the people, the psychological safety. So all these things, maybe you may not be able to understand, or you may not be able to visualize in the dashboards that AI is showing up there. Second one is the speed as virtue. And we have seen the previous confidence example, which we wanted to see, right? So in this Barney world, when anxiety is high, speed feels like action and action feels like control. But speed without orientation, it just is a fast failure. Sometimes it is good to have the fast failures, but not all the times, right? So when we try to optimize for speed without first asking, are we even solving the right problem? That's when we are getting into the trap of speed. And then the last one, which we have already discussed, right? That the confirmation loop, where we see like probably in the as example of the social media. So it is just going to improvise your confidence. It is going to enhance or reinforce your confidence, and that's the reason why we are falling into that confirmation loop all the time. That's how we are forced to take those wrong decisions sometimes, maybe. So the underlying statement is like, we didn't build AI to challenge our thinking. Remember, we did not build AI to challenge our thinking. We built it to accelerate our thinking. And sometimes we are giving our thinking to AI, and that's how we are accelerating in the wrong direction. So that's exactly where we need to take care of this thing. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. As we already spoke about that illusion, and this is the best example which we can have from our history on the illusion that Arjuna and Kurukshetra. I, I couldn't keep that picture there, but then you just imagine yourself there. Arjuna could see everything and he could understand nothing. It's not that he is not a great warrior. He's not weak. He is not lack of skills. He is not lacking of information. He is, of course, the greatest archer of all his time. He has the data, he knows the battlefield, he knew the enemy, and still he froze, right? Because uh, it's the decision crisis, confusion in the moment of decision. And the response to that is not a framework. The Krishna did not give him any framework or a dashboard. He gave him clarity. So that is what we need to understand when we are taking decisions in this AI world. Do we have enough clarity? And maybe if you go down a bit, if you can see like that's what Chanakya's statement is all about, right? So paralysis, which means to say like not acting on anything is as dangerous as recklessness, acting on everything just the way we want it. And then the wisdom lives in space between them. So it is like we should not be too negligent not to act on anything, or we should not be too reckless to use things in the way we like it. So we should be having a space in between it, and that is where the agile decision is making lives. So just try to understand from the agile lens on how we can improve this thing from the next slide onwards. I could see Shiva is already nervous in this Bani world, like, oh, it's already 10:45. So don't worry, Shiva. I don't give you that anxiousness.
No problem. I think the session is
No, no,
going good. It's interesting. I'm sure like no people are loving it. So
no,
please go
thank
at your
you.
speed.
No, that's fine. Cool. And this is the best thing about webinars. The good thing is like, unless and until you turn on camera, I don't know. But now you turned on camera, I felt like you are almost frozen. So don't worry. We are on time. Don't worry. So I told you, right? It's not a framework. I'm not going to tell you in the another. I know I'm not interested in giving you another framework. We are already we already got stuck with too many keywords, too many phrases, too many sentences. And earlier it was good, right? The world was good. Man, woman, boy, girl. That's it. And now people started coming up Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, Gen this, Gen that, and then they come up with too many words which we are struggling. And I don't want to trouble you more, giving you one more framework and a lens, right? So there are only three questions which we need to discuss, which we need to think for ourselves before taking every important decisions. What type of problem it is? So if it is problem statement is clear, definitely there is a process, follow it. This is nothing new, maybe somewhat similar to that Kahneman framework if you know it already. And if it is complex, just experiment I'm telling you once again, experiment on a smaller part and just go by step, like iterative and incremental approach. No big bang theories. Don't do it on a big bang stuff. Just experiment on small stuff, and if it is working, go back. And if it is chaotic, stabilize first. That's exactly is more needed when we are thinking most of the times. If our thoughts are very chaotic, don't try to take some decisions. Sit back. First, let's try to stabilize those things. Come to at least clear or complex. It is always fine. Don't always try to push yourself towards clear path. It won't happen. We are now living in the Barney world, which is more suitable for the complex. So you don't get clarity at any point of time. All you get is complex environment, but take small steps, do some small experiments. And if you actually look at the way AI has been created, AI is created to make those experimentations cheaper. Believe me, AI help you to make the experimentations cheaper. Let me give you one real-time example. If earlier you were a scrum master or something, you might have seen those sprint reports, all those velocity charts, burn down charts, and whatever the charts are there, all those metrics. And then you need to do a lot of analysis on that. You need to brainstorm all those things just to arrive at 4 or 5 action items that your squad needs to do. And it used to take at least like 6 to 7 days, maybe like 30 to 40 hours of time if you are spending actively on that thing. And all these things can be now similarly done just within a prompt, maybe within 2 to 3 minutes. If you give probably like 1 or 2 wrong prompts, it can be done there. But till at the end, so that's the level of experimentation cost has come down to that level. So experiment on those things. End of the day, always remember human judgment is more needed at this stage. Human judgment is needed. So don't give that thinking hat to AI or that judgment hat to AI. Maybe I should say judgment hat, not the thinking hat, maybe. Give the thinking hat, no problem, but then take those judgments into your hands, and that is more needed. And second one is one way or two-way doors. That's one of the famous philosophies which people know, right? So one way, like if it is hard to reverse, then take some time before taking the decision. If it is a two-way door where you think like probably even if you act fast and if something goes wrong, that is fine, you can reverse it, then you can take those decisions faster. So think of this question before taking any decisions. Is it a one-way or a two-way door? And then third one, last, what most important thing, which I believe is like the cheapest experiment you can conduct at that point of time. What is the cheapest experiment which you can conduct at that point of time? So that like that gives you more clarity. You don't decide way to clarity. You experiment your way to clarity. Clear? So that small experiments will help you from chaotic to either clear or complex things, and then that will help, that is going to help you. So 3 minutes, better decisions without any overthinking. So if this is simple, why don't we do it? So just maybe in the chat, just let me know this. Like, have you ever treated a two-way door decision like a one-way? Just type yes or no. Maybe which you think like, even though it is reversible, you tell like you can't reverse that thing, and then you spent more time thinking that you can't reverse that thing, and then you get those anxiety, anxiousness, pain, whatever, whatever lot of stuff you get. No, cool. That's fantastic, fantastic. So we have great people. Sometimes which can be reversed, but then you took too much of pain thinking like I can't reverse it, and then you took a wrong decision at that point of time. If that is no, that's a perfect thing. Perfect, perfect. Nice. Slow and cautious by nature. Fantastic. Yes. Cool. Nice. Nice to know that you guys have tried this thing. Fantastic. Fantastic. So before we go to our Monday action plan, so I want to hold up a mirror, like 4 traps that catch even the most experienced leaders. And let's try to have a look at them, and then let's try to see if you recognize yourself there. Can we move on to the next slide, Pallavi? So analysis paralysis, right? So the rhyming is good. I liked it. But then, yeah, these are like absolutely like that 4 decision traps, which more or less like probably we might be experiencing. The first one is like waiting for more clarity, waiting for more data to take that decision. Most of the times, the more you wait, you are giving more time for the competitor to actually go ahead with it. So the immediate fix is like set a decision deadline and commit to 80% of the information. Don't wait for too much of clarity on certain things. It could be even your personal life as well. I'm not only talking about the professional life. It could be any life, professional life, personal life, or even in your hobbies, anywhere. Like if you are waiting for too much of data, then you are probably going to give your competitor an advance, or you are maybe like missing that opportunity sort of, right? This exactly happens like most of the times where your team says like, I don't have clarity on that user story, I don't want to work on it. And then they want every clarity, right? I mean, most of the times it happens, right? That the real-time examples in the workspace, they say like, they want everything, just like acceptance criteria, it is good, dependence is good, something is good. And then they really don't want to take any assumptions, or they really don't want to work on some things, even if there is 1 or 2 points which is not clear at that point of time, they don't want to work on it. And then the result is it gets pushed to the next sprint, 2 weeks. Most of the times it is 2 weeks, right? So that's how, like, probably if you are spending more time on that analysis paralysis, that is how it is going to be impacting. And then the next one is like the hippo effect, like highest paid person's opinion. I definitely accept it. Like when a senior leader speaks, and then the room entirely shifts. Not because the idea is better, but because it is of the authority. I know in Agile we talk about psychological safety constantly, but in practice, the moment any director or any VP says something to do something new, like there are, even though we have objections, we quietly put it down because of that is called nothing but the hippo effect, right? So sometimes we experience it. Some leader suddenly comes and say like, you need to start doing this or embrace AI from this thing, and then that is not going to help within your small project, whatever you are doing, and it is going to actually create some more cumbersome for you. But then you still don't want to talk about it because that's called as the hippo effect. And then that is where the leadership lens should change, where they need to separate that idea generation from authority, and then not be running behind those blind views and sunk cost spirals. One of the most important things that which usually leadership at the top level face, because they start with something, they start an investment on one of those decisions which they have taken earlier. And after some point of time, even though they know that it is not working, they can't go back because they have already made huge investments there. Maybe like again, agile transformation, scaled agile transformations. I think some of you mentioned it in the chat earlier. Scaled agile transformations in most of the organizations. So they believe like with one framework of the scaled agile transformation, they embrace that framework, and then after some point of time they realize it is not working. But then still, since they have taken that decision earlier, they start pouring more and more investment into it just to make sure that it works. At some point of time it fails. At not at some point of time, even though it is clearly evident that it is not working, they are not able to do it. So this is exactly where probably we need to think like, if we started today, would we still make this choice? Even this is even helpful in our personal life as well, right? So sometimes we might invest most of our time in doing something, and at some point of time we believe like we have already done lots of things, or we spent a lot of time on this thing, so way to go back, let's try more, let's try more. Instead of that thing, just think again one more time, like, do you really have to make this choice at that point of time? I'm not telling you to back out from everything and then don't come back and tell me like, you told me this thing and then I was not able to say it. So it's not about backing out. Just think of that thing every day. Like, if you start today, do you still want to make this decision? And then just move forward. Dashboard deletion, very important thing. I can rephrase it as like a delusional intelligence as well. Maybe that's what we are having most of the times, delusional intelligence. We type something in chat GPT that comes up, and then we believe that is our idea, we created that, or we read something and then we believe that it is our thing. So this delusion or the illusion is one of the key factors which we are all getting impacted without even knowing it. Moh Maya hai. Always remember that thing. Or if you want, like I have a board on in my room, and then I have written it there, Moh Maya, so that whenever I see it, I feel like, okay, there is illusion. Am I being illusion? Is it my illusion or is it the clarity? So try to get that clarity. Don't just blindly go by if the metrics are green. Right. So can we move on to the last slide? So this is going to be the things that we are going to do from Monday. Right. So before making any major decision, again, these are all certain things which I am telling you, not just in professional life, but even in personal life. Before making any major decisions, just run those three questions. What is the type of problem? What is the door type? And is there any cheapest experiment that you can do? Right. And then replace when I say status meeting, like maybe if in a personal life, replace that thinking or add this question to whatever you are thinking. Like, what did we learn this week that changed what we believe? Even in your personal life, like probably at some point of time, just think about it. What did we learn this week or this day that changed what we believe? Because that is going to give you a lot of clarity and it is going to pull you or push you from that illusion, whatever you are having. And always separate your doors between those one way and two way. Don't become too much anxious because most of the times, or at least like I believe, like at least I have done a lot of times wherein something which is reversible, I think like it is only one way, and I spend more time on this thing, become more anxious on that. So clearly separate your dose. If it is reversible, don't become more anxious on that thing. Just go ahead and do that. And if it is one way, that's when spend more time on that thing on how to make it more clear. Run the cheapest experiment. Always remember AI is going to help you to run those cheapest experiments. It is not going to replace anything, but it is going to help you to run those cheapest experiments. So always do that thing. And maybe like those small tests that you can conduct in 48 hours, whatever it is. And maybe towards the end, I would like to say, Pallavi, can we move on to the next slide? So agile or AI does not mean faster decisions. I would like to add AI as well. It does not mean faster decisions. It means learning faster. Okay. It is just going to help you to learn faster. And yeah, so with that, let's move on to the last slide. So I think this is where we have all started it, right? So the real race isn't about how fast you run. It's about whether you know where you are running to. So have that clarity of thought, come out of that illusion. I keep telling this to all people, and then I keep telling this to myself most of the times. Come out of the illusion, and then just try to understand whether you are running in the right direction or not, because the race is not about how fast you run, but it is all about are you moving in the right direction, sort of thing. So I just want to reiterate some of the things which we have learned. So the first one is confidence isn't the enemy of good decisions, but then unexamined confidence is. And then the point number two is we didn't build AI to challenge our thinking. We built it to accelerate it. But then we need to be careful that we are moving in the right direction. The third point is like agile or AI was never designed to decide faster, but it is designed to help you learn faster. And the fourth point is the the most dangerous leadership skill is the ability to confidently explain a bad decision. So let's try to refrain from taking those bad decisions. And the fifth point is like the race is not about speed, it is always about awareness. And we have also discussed about some 4 points, what we can start from our Monday morning. So these are 9 things. And probably we had those 3 questions which we can ask to ourselves on before we take any decision. So there are like maybe like 12 key takeaways for you, along with some interesting real-time facts from movies, real-time experiences, IT professionals, right? And also the most real-time experience of me not being available within the teams and then coming back cool, pleasant, with and then giving some anxiousness to maybe all the organizers. But then still, that's how it works, right? And thanks a lot for staying with me till then. And can you move on to the last slide, Pallavi? So if You can follow me on Subrahmanyam Chandragiri. That's my LinkedIn profile. And as I told you, like maybe you can find me in all the Instagram, YouTube, and also Facebook as Chandragiri Subbu. So, and some of my movies are getting released. Sorry, web series are getting released this month and in another 4 to 5 months down the line. And yeah, maybe if you find at some point of time on TV or in any of the reels, just tell your friends like he is not just an actor, he is also a good speaker as well. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the opportunity for PMICC as well for sharing my thoughts on a Saturday morning. And I just want to know if you have any questions before I sign off. That's the most important thing. I don't want you to feel like this guy didn't allow us to ask any questions.
So team, any question you can just ask. You can enable your mic and ask questions. In the interest of time, we will take maybe one or two questions.
Thank you, guys. I see most of the people leaving, so maybe there will be a feedback form. So I would love like if you can give the feedback there so that I can share it with my family members and then like see how clearly I have explained how people love listening to me. Yes.
Okay. So, guys, any question we can we can take it offline. And thank you, Subbu, for generously sharing your experience and wisdom. And as a token of appreciation, PMI Pearl City Hyderabad chapter has honored with a thicket of 5 trees planted in your name at Trees for Leopard at Haridwar, Uttarakhand. Thank you for growing knowledge and sustainability with us.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And
You. So now
can-
I would like to hand it over to Shanti for the members talk. So she'll introduce us to the speaker and for the further session. So over to you, Shanti.
Thank you so much, Pallavi, for sharing. Thank you, Subbu. It was knowledgeable, of course, but I would say more of a fun event for an IT people and a webinar like this. It was fun listening to you again. We'll catch up in office when our schedules really align. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Let me take you all to our next section. For everybody who is joining us for the first time, I am Shanti, welcoming you all to another session for the Member Talk. Member Talk is a session exclusively initiative designed by the members and for the members, where they share their experiences, stories, and learnings with everyone. And today, our Member Talk speaker is Sirisha Manta. Sirisha is an experienced project management professional, has various certifications like PMP, Prince 2 Practitioner, and a certified Scrum Master. She has work experience that spans industries, healthcare, legal, food, and has led various diverse projects across Salesforce, MuleSoft integrations, data engineering, and web and mobile development. Beyond her professional work, she is actively involved in NGO initiatives as a volunteer and educator as well. In today's member talk, her topic to share with all of us is planning, the outcome-based sprints. Thank you, Sirisha, for joining us today. Over to you. You could please proceed with sharing the screen and then taking us through your slides.
Thank you, Shanti, for the wonderful introduction. And first of all, I would like to thank Subbu sir for the wonderful session. It was really amazing and fun at the same time. It's fun with learning. We should take all the things that has been shared into our projects and real life as well. There are a lot of real life things that we can use. Thank you so much for the session. I think my talk would be complementing to what he has shared. Let me share my screen. Hope you all are able to see my screen.
You're good. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So this is about planning the outcome-based sprints. So a lot of times we feel that, again, it's again coming to the illusion, right? We feel that we are doing everything right, but sometimes we may have feedback from the clients saying that there is something missing. There is something that, we cannot use at the right moment. So let us see what could be the problem and what's the PM's role to overcome that. So I'm assuming that we all are good with the waterfall method and the agile method and the sprint ceremonies and their purposes and everything. So we are not going to delve into the basics, but just for the quick introduction, waterfall is like we go ahead with discovering, designing, developing, and testing as separate phases, while in agile method, we discover, develop, test, and we do that as a part of each sprint, right? So what happens is we set up the sprint, we prepare the backlog, the requirement gathering is done, estimations are also done. We do the refinement sessions, we do the sprint planning. So these are all the Scrum events that we do religiously, all the ceremonies. The team starts working on the selected stories in a particular sprint. But sometimes, why do our sprints feel like nothing is working, nothing is moving forward? Why are the stakeholders sometimes not convinced? So the reality may be something like, this is just an example, something like they are done in different phases, like backend is done, UI is in progress, and integration is still pending at the end of the sprint. So the stakeholders would be like, okay, finally, what am I going to use? What value did these guys give me? So can you identify the problem here? The problem is we are not giving anything usable to the client, right? It again goes back to the basic agile principles and the foundational values of the agile. So you must have heard about horizontal and vertical slicing. So what it means is that the problem is most of the times we think we have done everything well, but the outcomes which are coming at the end of the sprint would be split by layers. So for example, if you say like, how do you answer this question? How much percentage of the project is complete? When you're doing the horizontal slicing, that means if the users cannot use it, then it's a zero progress. The progress is completely illusion. So it's a progress illusion. So if your team is doing below in three different sprints, like UI in one sprint, backend in another sprint, and database or integrations in another sprint, and the outcome is nothing usable and the feedback is delayed, right? Until you complete all the sprints where everything is complete, the feedback is delayed. So you cannot use that feedback and improve, right? So the solution is the vertical slicing. That means at the end of each sprint, you have the UI plus backend plus DB plus testing to be done in every sprint. So the outcome is the usable feature every sprint. Like you're seeing in the pictures, right? Think of a pizza or a sandwich. So if you're delivering each layer in each sprint, what would the client eat? How would the client taste and tell how it tasted, right? How would the client tell something is off? So you cannot take the feedback and it is of no use, basically. That means there is no progress done. So if you are delivering, either slice of it or even a small portion of it, but the entirety of the entire slice of the pizza or a sandwich, then you're delivering some value to the client. So this exactly is what horizontal vertical slicing. How do we plan the outcome based sprints, right? It's not about completing the tasks or but it's about delivering meaningful value to the customer. So simply following sprints, agile ceremonies religiously do not make us truly agile. It comes from delivering iterative and incremental value, embracing the early feedback and continuously adapting to it. So these are the true definitions of agile. So how do we do this? When we start the sprint, right? We start with the epic. So we create, if you are following Jira or in fact, any project management tool, you create epics and you break them into journeys. You create thin slices, like add stories as the vertical slices, add subtasks for the integration or UI or backend. So there could be upgrades or infra related stories that might happen, that might be needed as per the type of work you're doing. Keep them minimal and attach them to the main features. Prioritize the value, track the definition of done. I think we all are well aware of what is definition of done. Ensure that the demo ready is accomplished, right? The demo of the completed story should be done at the end of the sprint. So this approach ensures that the end user or customer receives working software and they get the real value at the end of the sprint, and you get to have the feedback. So we are basically delivering the outcomes to the client. As a PM, what we can do is we can follow the invest principle, invest rule for the user stories: independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable, small, and testable. So every user story should be creating some value on its own. The simple test is ask the team during the sprint planning, or if refinement ahead of the sprint that you do is the decision making event, then you can ask, if we release after this sprint, will the users notice anything new? That should be the question. Start the discussion with the outcomes and make it a sprint goal. You can reject the horizontal stories, like stories that are only technical or anything which is independent and do not constitute to the entire sprint. Enforce the user visible value in every story. Use the invest rule. You can structure the Jira the right way. Like we discussed, story should be the outcome based and tasks and subtasks can be the implementation. Teach the team on how to slice. It could be workflow based or business rules based, etc. Sprint reviews and definition of done should adhere to what the user can use. So if it's not valuable on its own, then it's not a good story. So even at the end of the sprint, if the sprint goal is not giving any value to the end user or the customer, then there is no progress. Again, it's a progress illusion. So this is a small topic that I've tried to cover in this time. If you have any questions, please free to um, uh, unmute yourself and ask, or in the chats.
Thank you, Sirisha. Helping us taking back to the basics. Sometimes it's reinforcing and reminding helps. Um, we are a little over time, so Pallavi, I believe, I think I will take questions offline now. Sirisha is available on LinkedIn. Please feel free to connect with her. Sirisha, if you could please drop in your LinkedIn as well on the chat, it'll be helpful. And Pallavi, I think we are good to be back with you now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you, Sirisha. It was a nice topic we have covered today. Hope my screen is visible. Okay. So for everyone, the PDU information, total one PDU will be credited for this for attending this session. And if you have not shared your right PMI ID, please write to the events at PMI_PCC.org. And okay, to receive regular updates, scan the code and follow the PMI PCC on various social media platforms. And before we conclude, requesting all the participants to come on the camera for a digital selfie. Also, we would love to hear from you. Please do take a minute, scan this and fill out the feedback form. Your feedback will definitely help us to, make these sessions even better. So yeah, please everyone enable your camera so that we can take a digital selfie.
Pallavi, you can exit the presentation mode so that I can
Oh, yes.
capture.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, sorry. May I request everyone to please turn on your camera for the digital selfie?
All right. Thank you so much, team, for joining the session today. And as you already know that we are having our network meeting on 4th of April, which is upcoming Saturday. And we would love to see you all. In case if anyone has not registered, please visit the PMIPCC LinkedIn page or any other social platform so that you will have the registration links. Please do register and join us on 4th of April. All right. Thank you so much for the wonderful session and have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Huge thanks to our speaker for this valuable insights. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.